continuation of last week. You had slept close to the marshes, and everybody had a discussion that needed to be had. So people went and made a few decisions on having co-leaders with Sundan and Cheval to kind of back each other up in case of failings and so on and so forth. But that discussion got cut short as you were interrupted by a ghost army coming from the marshes. You saw ghastly pikemen attacking fiendish kind of ghosts, and so everybody kind of paused this discussion to really investigate what was going on, and you realized that this was just a mere echo of a battle that had ended long ago, and that seemed to repeat itself. You're not exactly sure of the frequency, but it's a phenomenon that's not unheard of before. So, not wanting to venture at nighttime through a ghostly army that would obscure your sights, you opted to go around the marsh, but not taking the main road. So you climbed the mountain that went around. I decided to tackle that extra time that it would impose. But you were able to witness from that perch the outcome of such battle as you heard a large silver dragon roar. Cheval got to see its head peek out of the mist, and something that affected him very deeply. And the dragon went down. You're not exactly sure what happened afterwards, as it was obscured by the trees and the mists. You reached shortly after Argynvost Holt, and took a pause by the statue. The statue seemed to have opened, but nothing really came out of it, except for a little bit of misty spray. But you couldn't really tell what was, if it was a trap or anything long deactivated. Sergal and Sundan turned into a raccoon, then investigated the abandoned tower, the abandoned mansion of Argynvost Holt in front of you. Didn't want to go through the main door, so they went around and found a crumbled tower with more than one floor open. So they climbed up to the second floor and explored a little bit what was going on. A lot of things had suffered age, had broken down. There's dust everywhere, broken furniture. But you didn't have a presence there. There were some sounds echoing from the floor below. You're not really sure what it was. Something that sounded like ticking or rapid tapping. And there was, once you exited the room, there was bust statues, stone busts of knights or men, and their eyes seemed to be like following you wherever you went. And you realized soon that that was a phenomenon due to a haunting of some sort. You were able to get to the main door to reunite with the rest of the group, though as Sergal opened that main door, there was a large winged shadow that appeared and just fluttered across the wall and then disappeared in the distance. You're not sure where. But nothing more. The group then sort of investigated this main hall you were in. Cheval was able to identify the large tapestry by the grand stairs as being the human form of Argynvost back in the day. And then exploring a little further in more rooms, you found a dining hall that led into a chapel with 3 silhouettes. Cheval and Kane went to investigate, but as soon as they entered, the 3 silhouette reared and attacked them. It was a very quick dispatch of Cheval, with only one turn, one succession of attacks, and he was down. Tor tried to rescue him before it would be his end, and brought him to the front, while Kane, who wasn't in a position to escape in any way, shape, or form, decided to try in a last resort to calm them through the calm emotion spell, and it worked. Their hatred got tempered, but it was only a momentary relief. They warned you to stay away, or they would attack you again next time. So you obliged and exited, closed the door, and settled yourself into a nearby servant bedchamber where you found safe haven for the night. Uh, you were able to convince Thor, actually, Sundin was able to convince Thor through animal messaging, a bat, very fitting for Barovia, um, to return and meet back with the group to rest because the outside were less safe than that room. Perhaps not the mansion as a whole, but that room in particular. What was then done, and that's something that happened in between chat, was that Sundin, your druid, had called for some bats and had sent another one for some animal messaging. I believe Sergal might have noticed it really briefly, though there was no mention of it, so I'm not sure if he saw that, as he talked to him basically as he was finishing this spell. We will start at the very next morning after you've completed your long rest and everybody is waking back up. So you have, I'd say, the sun shining, but more like the clouds being brighter outside. You'll hear the very faint dibble and drop of faint rain outside falling onto the gravestones, as there's a cemetery right out your window. You still hear a few cricks and cracks of the old mansion with the old wooden floorboards around. And you hear the yawning and the stretching and the clinking of armor of your companions around. As for Ismark, you'll see him just start to kind of just put his belt and sword on his waist, getting ready to see what goes next. So who would be keen to be in the firsts to wake up?
Just as a quick aside, Tor came back in, but he's still separate from the group. He laid down and went to sleep in the first room by the big door entrance.
Shiva would be awake relatively early, partially from the still adrenaline of the night before, and also as he's just looking around the surrounding before him, kind of taking in the building.
Sergal would already be up and would have finished his conversation with Sundin as he goes off to Tor, I assume.
Well, after Sundin spoke to Tor, he probably came back and went to sleep. And all the conversations I had with everybody, because I had a conversation with every single person, happened at some point during this rest period. So Sundin is probably at the moment asleep.
Okay.
I see Kane people.
Yes, Kane, we can see you have rejoined the group properly. So is there anything that the first to wake want to share with the group, or do they wake anybody? What do they do?
Sergal will just be seen sitting there idly fiddling with his dagger. Kind of got a lost expression in his eyes.
Shival is quite distracted with the buildings around him. He seems to be appreciating more so the location of Argent Voss told than when they first arrived, as he's clearly reminiscing something and seems to be mouthing to himself some long sentences of some kind as he looks around the place. He's very focused, and minor talk is not going to necessarily get his attention.
If nobody else really seems to be doing anything and everyone's kind of lost in thought and busy, you'll see Ismark start to wake those that are still sleeping with a simple, we have to finish exploring the place or head to Vallaki very soon.
Honestly, I would agree. Civilization sounds like a pleasant respite. Shiva, there is no need to be remaining here, is there? You simply wanted to view the place.
You see him kind of shake his head as he looks back. I have gotten at least something, which is more than I had of Argent Voss other than rumors. We will need to head for Loki. I won't waste any more time or risk anything else just to go for any more inklings of information here.
Is there anything in particular that Tor does when he's being woken?
As the members of the group would come down, Tor is actually still resting there on the corner. He will have his sword laying across his lap in case he needed to wake up fighting, but he's probably still out sleeping, to be honest, unless somebody wakes him.
Yeah, Ismark would have kind of just shaken you, not violently, but just kind of placed that gentle hand on your shoulder and give you a quick wake up shake.
Tora just get up and start stretching and start strapping his armor back on.
Okay. And Sundin?
I suppose Sundin is getting up after his very short bit of rest, and he looks up and listens to the skies. Oh, it appears it's raining once again. Well, that's new. Well, not really. So what are we doing now? We're going to Vinoki?
Yes, we need to find Irina, and if she's...
Okay. Alright. And how about Kane? I think you're the one I haven't heard yet.
Kane is going to look through his pack, pulling out the breastplate, the damaged breastplate he grabbed from the treasury. He's going to look over to Sundin. Sundin, can you would you be able to repair this?
Of course I can. There's no problem with that. Nothing at all. And I'll tap it and cast Mending on it.
Alright. That was the decrepit breastplate that you got from the Ember Temple, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You see some repair happens to it. You get the sense that it's going to take a few more mending. So it would take at least a good 5-10 minutes of attention of him working on it with his mending spell to really fix it to the point where it's wearable. Something you may do now if you wish to, given you're kind of at the end of a rest.
Sundin, I think it may require a little bit more mending. It wasn't the greatest of shape. Do you mind?
No problem, no problem. I suppose we could sit and take a break. And he's going to take the breastplate and he's going to look for like a floor place to sit. Or rather, a place to sit on the floor, if that makes any sense.
A floor place to sit. Nice.
A floor place to sit, it will be.
At this point, Sundin, as you're casting this and you're taking the space for it, you hear the sound of wings flapping coming from outside, and through a small window comes in a bat, who comes and kind of, I wouldn't say hover in front of you as she's flapping her wings very, very quickly, but she's just flying in little circles right in front of your person.
Is she still carrying the scroll?
No.
Does the bat have a message for me since I had a scroll or no?
It doesn't.
Alright, then Sundar looks at the bat and you hear at it. And it will, he stops speaking in bat. Did you find anything? I was hoping you might be able to give me some sort of information. Where'd the scroll go?
Um,
Yes, DM. Speak back to him.
Not a problem.
This
You'll hear the same kind of squeaking, and it goes on for a bit, and you're gonna see the two of them converse back and forth, back and forth. And Sundan, what you're understanding is the bat starts by telling you um, that she found the person you were looking for, but the person was not able to really do anything or tell you anything, as there was something stuck in the mouth. Bats have a limited intelligence, therefore they can't really communicate quite easily.
And that's it?
Do you want to say anything? Like it's the back and forth. I figure you're having a conversation.
Yes, the bat is the scroll. What happened to the scroll? The one that I attached to your leg?
Packmate took it.
Another bat?
No, the person's packmate, the bigger one, the alpha. She thinks.
Was there anything weird about this alpha? Large arm.
It's
Like a wing. He'll move his hand.
No wings, some discoloration, but people all kind of look the same to a degree. It had no hair.
No hair, you say? Well, thank you very much for your service. I greatly appreciate it. Is there anything else you might be able to tell me? Is there anything else that you saw that might have been interesting aside from a few bugs?
She's hungry.
Oh, yes, of course. And then he's already has his good berries out, so he's going to give the bat a good berry. I hope you're not a vampire bat. Otherwise, these won't be very good for you.
I think vampire bats have a whole new meaning in this land. But she takes the berry and kind of just thanks you for it and flies out the window.
Then explodes.
And then Sunan looks to the others and be like, we might have a slight problem with our course of action.
Why is that?
Well, it seems that Irina is has been captured by Isaac, as far as I can tell. A bald man with a strange discolored arm.
great, another prison break job. Well, I still have my tools, so that is pleasant.
Well, I suppose we're still going to Velaki. Oh, I did forget to mention. When we get back there, Tor and I have a whole plan about how to try to fix the whole, him stealing breastplates, that sort of thing. So, if you see us doing anything strange, we agreed that Tor is probably going to stay in the Vistani camp, at least while we're in there. We might still need him for the prison break, but just to keep us a little safer.
That's good. I had been hoping we would talk about how to approach Valaki on our way there.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, we're not exactly criminals there. And I still imagine I have at least an okay reputation with the Burgomaster. But we should probably hurry, see if we can get there as quickly as possible, now that we know that Irina is captured.
Tora look over to Ismark and say, you know these people better than we do. Do you think my absence from the group will be better for everyone?
That is hard to say. If you're talking about Valaki in particular, I haven't visited that often. The people of Barovia are afraid of everything. People of Valaki are different. If you ask me, they're all insane. I don't think you should be the first one to enter, if that is your question, given what you have told us with your history and the smith there.
I do not fear entering in with the group, but I have agreed with Sundin that it might be better if I wait outside to avoid a guaranteed issue. Although, depending on how everyone feels, if it's a fight that's ahead of us, perhaps I just as best go in with everybody. It is up to y'all.
Tor, there'll be guards at the gate. It would probably be better and safer if you're with all of us.
Suna looks over to Circle. Oh, that thing you do, can you do that on other people or just yourself?
I can only disguise my own shape, however it is a simple matter to imitate a simple guard.
Oh, I suppose we could try the old fake prisoner bit. I don't know if that would work, it would get him in. Maybe we could dress him up in a dress. No, just kidding, Tor.
Oh, I wish you'd have said something earlier. There was dresses in the treasury.
I'm kidding, of course. This is a very serious matter. If you believe that the old prisoner guard trick would work, we should probably try that. At least we could get past the front gate. Though I do have little animal friends that can always call him, and it's not like the Vistani camp is that far.
That, and we might encounter our Raven allies. They may be able to tell us a bit better of what the situation is for Lockian before we actually enter.
I will wait in the Vistani camp then. However, I will be ready should a fight be waiting for the group.
Well, we'll most definitely need your swords for that. Alright, so I suggest we set off. Let me see how lucky I am today. And then he's going to finish doing the mending on Kane's breastplate with multiple mendings, however long it takes. And he's going to start walking towards the outside of the building. Is he allowed to do that, or is there anything stopping him?
Are you taking the same path as you took to reach that bedroom?
I'm just walking out the front door, but yeah.
Yeah, the same question applies, but okay. So you're taking that same path? No, you don't have anything you encounter that blocks you at this point. I'm assuming everyone follows the same route?
Sergal is going to go back up the way he and Sundin initially came in to recollect the rope.
Okay, that takes an extra, I'd say an extra 5 minutes, not that much because you weren't very far.
Okay, well, once Sundin is out, he is going to use his great bag of tricks, which I cannot link, but he will use that to see what he gets.
What did you use?
My great bag of tricks time with all three of the fuzzy balls that I usually use.
Okay, so roll your little balls to see what kind of animal pops out.
I have to reroll one of them.